Hello guys, Zungzels here, and today we'll be reading a new book. It's a now it's out of the way. Let's get into it. Game logic: level up and create your own games with science activities for kids. By Andy Smilber, illustrated by Lenny Counterhook. By the way, this book is for the older kids, age range 9 to 12. That's the timeline. Monopoly. What is the game? Okay, got it. Ask me 20 questions. Is it an animal? Yes. Is it smaller than a bread box? What's a bread box? Actually, while we're at it, what's bread? Oh. Oh, I understand. The older it is. Games have been around since ancient times. Playing games seems to be a natural part of being a human. Whenever you love the idea of working together in a cooperative game or in the thrill of competing against other players. Playing games is a pastime enjoyed on all continents. Ever wonder how games were invented? Whoever thinks up the twists and turns of the game Clue or the highs and lows of Uno. What the behind the decisions players had to make in Dungeons and Dragons. No matter what the game it is, a lot of thinking, inventing, and deciding went into it. To get from an idea or a game to a finished product can take years. Let's take a look at how one game designer made it happen. Essential question: what's your favorite game to play, and why? Pandemic. Since he was a kid, designer Matt Leacock dreamed of publishing his own board games. He made his own games such as a hobby. Throughout high school and college. After college, he went to work for companies such as AOL and Yahoo. Working to improve user experience on different technological products, he designed a lot of cool things, but he never forgot about games. He kept designing them on the side. In 2000, Matt designed a game called Lunex Loop. He printed 200 copies of it on his laser printer and set up a booth at the German game industry show called Spiral. In 2007, Matt pitched the idea for a new game, Pandemic. The publisher's Pandemic to the publishers. Pandemic is a cooperative game about fighting outbreaks of disease and pandemics. He licensed the games to Z-Man Games. Pandemic has sold millions of copies since it came out in 2009, making one of the best-selling modern board games. It also won many design awards and influenced lots of new games. Matt Leacock now designs games for a living. Pandemic Legacy, a game by Matt Leacock and Rob Davu. Really wish I could zoom in on that. Games and goals. Many tabletop games get their start this way. One or two people have an idea, they invent a new board or card game. Some inventors are driven by boredom. For example, two bored friends invented Rival Pursuit on a rainy afternoon. Another pair of gamers came up with Dungeons and Dragons because they were tired of typical war games. And maybe a bored Roman soldier invented tic-tac-toe. Other inventors want to teach something with their game. The creator of the original version of Monopoly wanted to show how greedy landlords can be. The creator of Life wanted to teach morals. What's a moral? Oh. Ah. And perhaps an ancient Chinese emperor invented Go to teach his son wisdom, or at least military tactics. What? Did you know hobby games are ones designed for avid gamers? Hobby gamers include role-playing games, collectible card games, war games, and some more complicated board games. The Spile on Spile. In 1978, the Institutional Verlag or Spile opens its doors in Essen, Germany. Spile is the biggest and most spendish tabletop game trade show in the world. During 4 days each October, game designers and publishers demonstrate and sell new board games, role-playing games, and card games. More than 150,000 people attend Spile each year to see what's new in the world of games. What's a game? It's not such a word game. You probably know what we're talking about, right? We know Scramble and Kickball are games. You also know a big plastic dinosaur is a toy and a brain teaser is a puzzle. So what makes a game different from a toy or puzzle? A designer named Chris Crawford, 1950, came up with a helpful way to think about games. Games, toys, and puzzles are all forms of entertainment that we interact or play with. He calls these playthings. A toy is something you play with, but without a goal. You're just playing and having fun. Playthings' goals can be puzzles, competitions, or games. We usually work puzzles alone, while competitions and games include many players called agents. Agents can include human players, the computer, or simply the game itself. In competition, 2 or more players compete, but they don't interact with each other to affect the outcome. For instance, running a race is a competition. Each person runs their own race independently. In the game, however, players either work against each other or they work together against the game. When game designers develop new games, they have to keep track of many different things. They have to use logic to ensure the game makes sense and is fun to play. Otherwise, no one will want to go back to it after playing it only once. A game is a plaything that players use to interact with each other to achieve a goal. To do that, the players have to follow rules. In this book, you'll learn about the history, logic, and design of tabletop games. These will include board games, cards, dice, and role playing games. You also get the chance to design and play games of your own. You might discover that much more work goes into creating a game than you thought. All you'll need is a little imagination. Let's get started. And that's for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Later.